Hi people, welcome back. It's been a while since I did a proper voiceover, I know, but I have had a hectic few weeks with masses of confusing coursework to navigate, so apologies, but I tried my best. Still, here I am, and with some pretty insane news. Just earlier this week, I got an email back from MMU with an offer to do an art foundation course next year. So in today's video, I want to talk about my art journey so far and how it's been affected by GCSEs and by the pandemic and how on earth I ended up here. Because let me tell you, it was not where I thought I'd be going half a year ago. So in 2018, I was a small little 16-year-old weeb studying art GCSE. And other GCSEs, obviously. I was going through the ultimate anime phase at the time, and it was maybe only a year since I had started posting on Instagram. I can check that for you, but I'm honestly not sure. Unfortunately, because of my inherent weakness, I only ever wanted to draw anime characters and had really little patience for any other kind of art. Art GCSE was time-consuming and stressful, and I was obsessed with everything being perfect, and I didn't want to draw any of the stuff they wanted me to draw, and I was just a terrible student, to be perfectly honest. But it meant that when it came to choose A-levels, I was adamant that art was something I would only ever do as a hobby, and instead I did maths, economics, and history. For a couple months, I barely drew at all, actually. I was sincerely fed up with the art GCSE until finally my boyfriend at the time asked to see some of my drawings, and so I picked my pencil back up and started drawing again. I kind of drew on and off casually for the next year or so, mostly doing characters, but slowly edging away from the obsessive anime-ness. And I got back into digital art and occasionally branched out to drawing things like flowers and animals. I did a day where I drew landscapes with my mum, that sort of thing. In October of 2019, I put in my uni application, applying for maths and economics courses at various different unis across the country. I like maths and economics, and I'm not bad at them, so I figured, why not? And at the time, I really liked the idea of being a teacher one day, maybe, so it seemed like a logical option. In March 2020, well, you all know what happened. The schools closed, which helpfully saved me from the stress and despair of sitting A-levels. But in hindsight, we probably should have rather just sat them, because the government did quite a hash of picking the grades. Anyway, March through to September, I was in the strange position for the first time in many, many years of having absolutely no work to do and months to spend doing it. And nowhere to go, obviously, because everything was shut. At the time, I had recently started watching the brilliant Drawing with Waffles on YouTube, and I loved her sketchbooking, and I was so inspired that I was like, right, I'm going to buy myself a square sketchbook, I'm going to decorate the front like she does, and I'm going to try fill it up. And I did, actually. I was using it for drawing, sketching characters and thumbnails, and I ended up drawing at least a really small amount every day, sometimes more. I started trying to make my comics. I didn't get anywhere with any of them, but I started drawing more and more, and the amount that my art improved over that summer is honestly shocking. Like, I still can't believe it looking back at some of the stuff I did in March last year compared to the stuff I'm doing now, and I'm proud of myself. So, yeah. Then in September, I went off to uni. I was quite excited. It was, getting away from home and being locked in the same house with the same 4 people every day. Not that I don't love my family. Needless to say, uni was a little bit underwhelming, what with all the restrictions returning. Most of my work was and still is online, meaning I not only had to teach myself most of the course, but also missed out on all of the supposedly fun bits about, like, hanging around with new friends, exploring the city, all of that. Anyone who tells you that COVID uni has been fun is probably lying at least a little bit. It's not been bad, but it just wasn't the brilliant thing that most people make it out to be. As the workload ramped up around weeks 3 and 4, I found that I had less and less time to draw each day, and was becoming increasingly frustrated with it. I ended up in loops of not working because I actually wanted to draw, and then not drawing because I knew I should be working, and just procrastinating endlessly and never getting anything done. When I finally came home for Christmas and had a bit more time for myself, I started to realise that I really didn't want to go on to a life where I didn't have time to draw. And obviously, forget a job and relationships and family and all that nonsense, I was going to run out of time. It was just going to not happen. And I realised I really didn't want that, and I was happy to sit and sketch and draw and colour all day. And whilst I liked maths, more than a few hours of it kind of exhausts me. So over Christmas, I did a little bit of research, and I worked out that if I took a year away from uni, I could potentially do an art foundation course. Figured there wasn't any harm in applying, and so I spent the rest of January putting together a portfolio. By this time I had definitely grown out of my weeb phase. Anime will always have a beautiful place in my heart, but I find that actually now I do prefer things that are slightly more realistic. I really liked playing with watercolour and learning charcoal for the first time, doing some landscapes. I need to get better at backgrounds, figure sketching, things from life, drawing animals. I painted the cutest little rabbit, which I think I shared on my Instagram, but it was adorable. So when I put the application in, that was that. I went back to my maths, and I waited a couple of months until finally, just earlier this week, the emails I was looking for came through saying that I had an offer. Obviously, I was absolutely thrilled, I still am, and particularly given that I hadn't done A-level art, I was genuinely shocked. I wasn't sure I was going to get in at all. I can honestly say that if the pandemic hadn't happened, I never would have ended up here. And it allowed me to fall back in love with my art on a really major scale, and whilst there are many, many bad things about this pandemic, it's one of the bright sides to me, is that I've got this chance. So now I have an opportunity to try art full-time and see what it really looks like, and hopefully I'm going to love it. I am really looking forward to it. It does technically mean that next September my content is probably going to slightly broaden, and you'll see different things on my Instagram page and possibly on my YouTube too. I might actually get some more traditional style drawings up, you never know. But I will obviously let you know more about that when I get there. If there is anybody out there who's considering a foundation, who wants to know more about putting together portfolios, then I'm happy to do a video on that, or a video on the difference between foundation course and a actual degree course. I am by no means an expert on this, but I did get accepted, and I don't think my art is particularly outstanding, and so I think I can give you a realistic idea of what could pass and get you onto a course like this. Either way, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, even if it was just more of my ramblings. I feel like it got a bit rambly. I really would appreciate it if someone would comment down below and just tell me how rambly I get sometimes, because I do write scripts, but I write them very quickly. And then I get distracted halfway through reading the script, so it's a bit... Oh well. I will see you guys next week. Like and comment and subscribe if you like, and yeah, bye, have a lovely week.